My name's Guy Kesterman, and I've been a professional bike and kit tester since before Blur and Oasis were fighting for the top of the charts. And if you want a tyre that blurs the line between road and gravel and mountain bike, and it's tough enough to take you all the way across a rocky desert to an oasis, God, this is tenuous, then you'll want to hear about the Schwalbe G-One Overland, which is kind of basically a fast-rolling gravel tank tyre. I think I described it in my Bike Perfect review. And a lot of that comes from the fact that a lot of the construction comes straight from their mountain bike range. So you've got what's basically the superground carcass under here, which uses bead-to-bead snakeskin reinforcement, and it's got extra reinforcing just above the bead there as well, so that final last line of defence against slapping into rocks and pinch punctures and stuff like that. And perhaps unsurprisingly, in a lot of heavy duty use, I have had no issues with punctures on this tyre, and I've even had it on the tandem without inserts in there, and it shrugged off that fine. And in terms of if you're riding solo, I had it on my Stig on these wheels, and I have never had such an incitement to riot and basically just straight line everything as when I was running these tyres. That does come with some significant downsides though. For a start, they're a bit stiff to get on. Because they hold their shape so well because they're such a stiff carcass. So that's good if you are trying to get an insert in there for maximum protection. But if not, prepare for a bit of a fight getting them on. But once they're inflated, they pop on really easily and they stay inflated right down to about 20 psi. Didn't have any burping issues even down at super low pressures like that. But the reason I was running super low pressures like that is because they are a super solid feeling tyre. These are uncomfortable really compared to a lighter tyre, even in this 50mm carcass. It was quite interesting. I fitted them with a set of new wheels onto the tandem, and Sarah was instantly like, "These new wheels are terrible. They're giving me really bad backache." I was like, "Right, okay, right, we'll see about that." And without telling her, I actually switched the tyres, kept the same wheels on, switched the tyres to some reasonably reinforced Terravales. But straight away she was like, "Oh my God, yeah, these new wheels are so much better." And in fact, it was the same wheels. It was just the fact I'd taken these Overlands off. And if you run them at low pressures, also that carcass takes such a lot of energy to deform, they're not even that quick. However, keep them about 30 psi. I mean, bearing in mind this is a 50mm wheel, 50mm tyre, and that tread, which is basically a sort of combination. It's like the G1 gravel tyre meets a Racing Ralph MTB tyre. I mean, as you can see, very, very rounded. And it feels very efficient. I don't think these are the fastest tyres just because of the carcass compound. I mean, it's Addict's Speed Grip is the actual rubber compound, so it's the same as their faster racing tyres for mountain bike, but obviously it's not a road compound. So again, with the large footprint and the stiffness of the carcass, they don't actually feel crazy fast. So if you've seen some stats from men in Finland with revolving drums and laboratories, I think they've said these are very quick, but not convinced myself. But it depends whether you believe in my anecdotal and experience evidence or a Scandinavian chap with a steamroller. Anyway, and again, steamroller is probably an appropriate word, maybe a Freudian slip there. What I would say is this tyre, if you can keep it slow, keep the slow rolling and you know what you're doing with traction, it actually grips better than you might expect in terms of drive. But as soon as you break traction, you're a proper runaway trailing situation. It just slides scarily easily. You're probably not going to be able to grab it back. It's just a case of going straight until you find something that will change the traction dynamic, like hopefully some grass or some less slippery mud rather than a dry stone wall. And I think you're going to be very brave. I mean, it has got these bigger side knobs, but you're going to have to be really, really brave to lean it a long way over onto them. But like I say, psychosomatically, it feels a very clean, quick, quiet tyre when you're bombing along on the road or hard packed surfaces. So, and it's cleared for e-bike use under the E50 grade, and eco credentials are very, very good for Schwalbe as well. So not only do they use fair trade rubber in some of those tyres, but they're also the only tyre brand to currently use a recycling scheme through your local Schwalbe tyre dealer. So that's all in their favour, and because they're super tough and because they're very thick treaded, they're going to last a long time as well. So although they are a relatively premium price, it's, you know, in terms of value over time, they're a pretty good tyre. Have I mentioned the weight? Don't think I have. These are 620 grams for a 50mm. So did I even measure them? This might be a bit under pressure because these are, like I say, soft. But I was chatting to Brant the other night and he said, you should just do these live. And you know what? I think he's right. So if you'd like me to, if you want, if I did start doing live reviews, what time would work for you for me to get in your face with the live product? Because and then I could just pitch it straight up, and I'm doing less and less editing these days and just kind of letting it flow. So that might work. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do me live, and in the meantime I'll tell you that that was a 47mm width measurement, but so these are pretty low pressure, so you know they're probably not far off 50 in reality. But yeah, even in the 40mm size, they're 525 grams. So not a light tyre. And again, with that carcass feel and the compound, they don't feel remotely lively when you put them on the bike. These are a tyre to put on your bike if you just want to fit, forget, and blast along roads, blast off-road through sort of dry chunk without worrying about punctures or pinch flats or damaging your rim. And also, you know, loaded bike packing or even tandem use, which I admit is very niche, but if you're into them, then send me a wave. They're great for that, but don't think of these as a supple, nuanced, high grip, high control, surprisingly fast bike tyre for, you know, bigger volume kind of just off-roading play. That makes sense? Didn't have a lot of stops in or punctuation, so I hope it did. But yeah, so that's the Schwalbe. But obviously, if you think there's something I've missed out on or you want comparisons with other tyres, then get busy in the comments below. That's why they're there. Otherwise, massive thanks to Schwalbe for sending me the bike tyres to test. I've got a bunch of other gravel tyres to work through, catch up on everything from Challenges to the new Maxxis Reaver to the new Panaracer Gravel King. New fatter Continental tyres as well, so a lot to work. Oh, and a new WTB. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that, but yeah, they're in a box behind the camera, and I'll be getting onto those very shortly. But for now, massive thanks to Schwalbe for sending these in. Thanks to my industry sponsors who'll be listed at the end. And if you could support those guys when you're thinking of shopping for new kit in the same way they're supporting me with small monthly sponsorship deals, then that would be fantastic. Big thanks to my Patreon subscribers as always for supporting the channel on a monthly basis, and they get early, sometimes extended or exclusive edits as a thank you. And all the Patreon content is ad-free if you don't like interruptions. But if you can't afford that, it stops at £3 a month. So, you know, you could miss a coffee and a biscuit, or, you know, in favour of supporting your favourite elderly motor mouth mountain bike and gravel correspondent. But, you know, times are hard. I appreciate that. So if you'd just like to subscribe and click for notifications, I'd be ever so grateful, Governor. And give it a thumbs up, like, and if you think your mates will like it, point them in my direction as well, because more eyes on the channel from your recommendations is the most valuable thing for me in terms of YouTube analytics and channel growth. That's what the little videos I occasionally have time to watch and tell me how to grow my channel say. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on GuyKest TV talking about Schwalbe's G-One Overland 50mm gravel tank tyres. And if you want to know about these Reynolds Black Label G700 Pro gravel wheels, that'll be a separate video that I'll link at the end.